In the year 2002, I was no-knock raided by the chief of police, Michael Moore, of LAPD with an entire SWAT team twice in the same month. Since that date, I began studying the history of America and constitutional law. I am an autodidactic constitutional law scholar. Over the past couple years, what I've done is I've been able to devise a system, understanding that the police have created a very rigid set of policies, procedures, and protocols that they use to arrest you. I've also created a very rigid set of policies, procedures, and protocols for you to follow that gives you back the power when you're forced to interact with these jackboot thug pigs. It has become a tyrannical jackboot thug police state, prison state, death state. I will win the governorship and I will change the policies from the top down.
Hi, I'm Corporal William with the Talking County Sheriff's Office. The reason I pulled you over is you don't have any tail lights on.
So cops got me pulled over. First thing I'm going to do when I start recording is I'm going to put this hand right here. You see that? You see how that works? This hand is now up in the air. My camera is going to bright up the sky. So if it's nighttime, then the coppers can see that the camera is in my hand. You can see that my hand is here. The other hand goes up into the window. I'm in touchdown position right here. My hands look like they're a goalpost. This hand is actually, I took my little miniature armrest right here. I put it up right here. Bam. This is how I use my trifold. If anything happens to me, I'm all set right here. Okay, now that I got this like this, my camera's rolling. Most important thing. Second thing, my elbow goes in the windowsill right there. Do you see that? My elbow goes in the windowsill right there. There it is, right there. Now, with this hand up in the air and this hand up in the windowsill right here, I'm all set. I'm all set. The most I'm going to do is take the same hand right here, reach down and slightly roll my window down just a scooch. I'm all set up. I'm in touchdown position. This hand is rolling camera. This hand is up here so that I can reach up and grab my trifold and my proof of identification and my license. Everything is up in my visor. When that copper comes up to my window and he says, "Do you know why I pulled you over? Do you know how fast you were going? How come you didn't pull over right away?" If he says, "Hey, can I get your license, registration, and proof of insurance?" Great, because this hand is not going to have a camera in it. The one that I got my hand in now, my camera's in this hand over here. I'm in touchdown position, just like a goalpost. Now from right here, I'm going to reach over and I'm going to, with the same hand that this phone's in, I'm going to reach over and grab my license, registration, and proof of insurance that is in my trifold right here. It's inside my trifold. Here's my license, registration, and proof of insurance right there. I got everything right there. See how that works? I'm just going to slide that bad chicken out. There's everything I have to provide by law right there. License, registration, proof of insurance. I have everything right next to my trifold. Now, no matter what he says from there, I don't care what he says. How fast were you going? Are you going to your grandma's house? Are you the big bad wolf? No matter what he says, I'm not going to answer any of his questions. I take my license, registration, proof of insurance that will be in my left hand, and I give it to him. You got it on video?
Not your actual.
No, that's not that, but that's got my DL number right on the top.
Okay.
D1940.
So you have your actual driver's license?
Well, I mean, that is an actual photocopy of my driver's license, a laser copy. Actually, if I take the rest of the tape off there, it looks prettier than my actual driver's license. There you go. I don't want to deal with, he didn't identify himself. He didn't have his registration. He didn't have his current ID. He didn't have his current insurance card. No. I have everything ready to go. It's right here with the same hand right here. I'm going to take it like this, and I'm just going to slip my information right out the cracked window for that jackboot thug pig. Put it in the comment section. JBTP, jackboot thug pig. Put it in the comment section. I don't have a back and forth with the pig. I don't do that. I do not have a back and forth with that pig. Where are you going? Where are you heading? All that? No. I'm not going to answer any questions. I'm not even going to entertain it. Not going to nod. Nothing. I'm going to give him my license, registration, proof of insurance. I'm just going to slip it right there. That's how it's going to work. Here's my license, my registration, and my proof of insurance. Here's the insurance. Here's the rental car agreement. And my driver's license is right here. If you're poor and white or black or brown, don't reach around because you could die. It's a real thing. It's a reality here. So now I'm not going to get myself killed because I didn't follow a very rigid set of policies, procedures, and protocols. I'm recording everything with my phone from over here. Everything's being recorded. You see that? The phone is facing me, so my head is the most important thing. Now, once I've given him my license, registration, proof of insurance, I'm filming everything. He asked me where I'm going. I say I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to remain silent.
Okay.
If you ask me another question, you're violating my rights, and I'll file a lawsuit against you. Write your ticket, do what you're going to do, but don't harass me any further.
Your Honor, I'm showing him on camera that I'm invoking my Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. Piggy loses qualified immunity for questioning me. Say it with me. Piggy loses qualified immunity for questioning me. This is how it goes. This is the way it is. Now, if he says, where are you going? Where are you coming from? Do you have a firearm in the car? I'm then going to take my trifold and point at it, and I'm going to go down the list of questions. Don't ask me where I'm going. Don't ask me where I'm been. Don't ask me what my favorite color is. Don't ask me if I have a firearm. Don't ask me if I've been drinking. It says everything right there on your freaking trifold. You don't have to answer any questions. He says, where are you coming from? And I say, Your Honor, I have shown the pig at the window that I clearly have identified that I've invoked my Fifth Amendment, and he already asked me where I'm going. He's violated my Fifth Amendment right. I'm showing him on video. It's on the literature. Your Honor, this is for my federal civil rights lawsuit. If I was you, pig, I would just go write your ticket. That's what I would do if I was you, pig.
Get the hell out of my face. There's everything you need. Go on.
That's what I would. If I was you, piggy, I would go and write your ticket. This is how it works. This is how you use your trifold completely. This is the way you do it. There's no other way that I've taught. This is how you do it. Phone goes here. Elbow goes here. Trifold, identification, everything is up in the visor here. I'm ready to go. These bootlicking troll channels, they sat down and they did the math one time and they said, well, Chille, if he sells 20 trifolds in a day, that's some pretty good money. Why would he live so poor? Why wouldn't he spend some money? Why wouldn't he go and do some things? Well, you jack off nobody. It's because I have a mission. There's a purpose here. My purpose is to get a trifold in every single car in America. The mission is to get the Fifth Amendment cop cards in everybody's wallet. The yellow and blue cards only come out when there's a pig in front of you. That's when the yellow and blue cards come out. You don't pull the yellow and blue cards out until there's a pig in front of you. You memorize the cards so you know it backwards and forward. But this is how you do it. This is how you do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the new redesigned Fifth Amendment cop card. Now, the driver card is in blue and the non-driver card is in yellow. Now, they're easily color-coded. So you know driving is blue, non-driving is yellow. You have to have a pair of Fifth Amendment cop cards in your wallet at all times. If you carry your credit cards in your phone, it's the exact same size as your Visa, as your driver's license. And these cards, they're made out of the exact same material as a hotel key, your Visa card, your driver's license. They don't destroy. It won't melt in your wallet. You need to have a Fifth Amendment driver and non-driver cop card in your wallet. These are the best gift you'll ever give anybody. Thanks. My name is ChilleDeCastro, and I am Delete Laws. Welcome, everybody, to another rendition of Delete Laws. Thank you guys so much for coming today. I appreciate it. Today is an interesting day. Today has been a day that it's been interesting. Today, the good news is Team DLZ of you 500 people sitting here watching right now. Today, we hired the attorney for Wanda Meese. Wanda Meese may be in the chat, maybe not. Wanda Meese, we hired the attorney for Wanda Meese today. So if you're new to the channel, thank you for coming. My name is ChilleDeCastro. I am an autodidactic constitutional law scholar. In the year 2002, Michael Moore, the chief of LAPD, no-knock raided my house. Ever since then, I've been studying the history of America, the history of constitutional law. And like I always like to say, welcome to another rendition of Delete Laws. What's going on out there in the land of the unfree America? How is everybody doing today? Can everybody hit the like button? Everybody hit the like button if you would, pretty please, with sugar and cherry on top. I want to show you this video that I saw that came across my desk. Check this out.
Oh, that's the wrong one. Sorry about that.
Then I have my okay. Would you like me to get my registration? Yeah, if I can see it. It's in my glove box. Any weapons in there? That's it. Okay. So the only complaint was they didn't think you had to take. Okay. So there was a Chrysler cop 2 cars behind me, so I don't know if it was him. Okay. Yeah, you could really hardly tell. So that cover you have over the bubble tinted port, that's a leak. Okay. Okay. Okay with making that bubble that? Yeah, that's fine. The clear or the tinted. This is gonna go. Yeah, this is gonna come back to like number 4. Okay, that's fine. And then I'll give you a warning. I'll give you like what, 5 days to take it off? Yeah, I mean I can take it off as soon as I get it out. It's just an extra check. Okay. Yeah, then I'll give you a warning for 5 days. Then you stop at the police station, show somebody a warning, and then you take it off. Okay. And you're good to go. All right, appreciate it.
Well, this is interesting.
All right, Matthew, here's your license.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Sure.
Your update card.
Yep.
And your insurance and your registration.
Thanks.
You used to live on.
Yeah.
You've been stopped for your temp before, or is this like a newer car for you?
No.
I'm 36 now. I did the same thing. So
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be a dick.
No, I got you. No.
So what I'll do here is, I mean, it looks very nice.
Thanks.
Did you just get it?
It's a 2019. Yeah, I actually ordered it brand new. I went to a dealership and they had one, but it was sold. And the guy was like, "Well, by the time you find one with the exact color and."
So this guy is going on as though these guys are your friend. Put a 1 in the chat if this doesn't go this way for you. Put a 1 in the chat if this isn't how this happens for you. The way it goes for you is completely and utterly different than this. Put a 1 in the chat if it goes different for you than this. Now, it seems as though he has some sort of supercar or you put the racing stripes on the seats. But the way we do it is we invoke our Fifth Amendment right to remain silent without taking a single solitary break. We don't do that. So what I want to do right now, and this is the most important thing that we could do. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give a call over to Juan Demise, and let me call him from my other phone. Actually, I'll be able to hear him a lot better. You guys will be able to hear him a lot better as well. So this morning, I mean, I've been going since 6 o'clock this morning because we had to get Wanda, real name Robert Bobby, we had to get him an attorney. And so that's exactly what we did. I don't know if he's in here or not. Maybe I could send him a link. But you guys did this, you know.
Hello?
Bobby. Are you there?
Hello?
Hey, how you doing, man? Can you hear me now? Are you there, Robert? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Are you there? Hopefully the phone works here.
Hello?
Hey, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Cool. I'm calling you live with a bunch of people here, and I just kind of want to go over a couple things that we did this morning. You guys have heard of Wanda Meese. How do I say the name properly?
Mize.
Your channel name.
Wanda Mize.
Wanda Mize. So Wanda Mize, real name Bobby. Bobby and I have been on the phone this morning back and forth. We hired an attorney this morning, and the attorney withdrew this morning. And then who was the attorney you eventually ended up hiring?
Scott Adams.
So we ended up hiring an attorney out of Indianapolis named Scott Adams. And so now you're going to have an attorney for Wednesday for your bond revocation hearing, correct?
Yeah, he said he'd be there Wednesday.
Boom. So that was Team DLZ. That was all y'all did that this morning, just a few minutes ago. I wasn't even this morning, but by the afternoon, I had court today as well. We paid $3,000 today. You guys did by donating, contributing. We paid $3,000, and we have $3,000 more to go on Bobby's attorney. So how do you feel now that you know you have a paid attorney coming to represent you?
I mean, I feel a lot better. Hopefully he does what needs to be done. I mean, it should be pretty simple as far as I'm concerned, but, I guess we'll see.
Right, because we have all the videos, and clearly you were railroaded and cheated and attacked by these jackboot thug pigs. That's an absolute fact. That happened.
They try to take me out.
They tried to take you out. That's exactly correct. So I'm going to show a couple of your videos today of what happened to you. And I just wanted to bring Bobby on to say thank you to all you guys who donated and contributed. And a big shout out to Tudor's Vape Shop in Texas. Tudor's Vape Shop sent me $1,000. The bill was $3,000. And then I had another Drophead 74 who's in the chat has put in $1,000. So between those two guys, and then we have donations in PayPal, Venmo, and Cash App, that's going to cover the $3,000. And right now it's still sitting there. So I covered the third $1,000 for now, but hopefully we'll be able to get that crowdfunding up further and get more crowdfunding, because this was a huge one. Hiring Bobby's attorney was huge because, I had to flee Ohio when they were going to have a bond revocation hearing for me, because I was pretty sure they were going to put me in the dungeon. I mean, when you hear bond revocation hearing, what do you think about Bobby?
I think they want to lock me up and put me in the dungeon. That's exactly what they want to do.
Yeah. They want to lock you up and they want to put you in a dungeon. But because of all of these people here today, we were able to raise the money to get that $3,000 down payment. There's another $3,000 due in the next 45 days, and we'll just slowly build that up, and we will cover that other amount. And Bobby and I had a heart today, and I said, hey, look, no matter how things go, don't blame me. I'm just helping raise the funds, bringing in the attorney. And I had a nice conversation with Scott. I'll air that conversation for you guys in a second. So, man, this is great. I have court tomorrow. I had court today. I have court again tomorrow. So I was so busy today. I had to get up at 6 a.m. to get on the phone with lawyers. And I talked to 6 lawyers today. Each one told your whole story, Bobby. I had to tell your entire story to 6 different lawyers. I did find an attorney in Illinois by the name of David who wants to take your federal civil rights case.
Yeah, that'd be nice. I'd be able to pay everybody back or put it in the fund for somebody else's lawyer.
Yeah, just put it in the fund and pay it forward when you get that money, because you truly got screwed, dude. Your videos truly show that you got screwed.
Everybody's paying for it. Everybody involved, they're all paying for it. I mean, I'm not going to stop until every one of them pay for it, and I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing, because apparently it's a need in Indiana for sure.
Oh, yeah.
I appreciate everybody, trying to help me out. I mean, we're all in this together, so let's get it done.
You got it, brother. You got it. Yeah, you got it. All right. Anything else you want to say to the people, Bobby? I'll let you go. I'm going to let people listen to the conversation I had with the lawyer because I don't have the receipt yet. So I'm just going to play that conversation I had with him.
I just want to say I appreciate everybody and Chille. I mean, I appreciate, us talking and you getting that worked out and everybody supporting. I mean, I appreciate you all.
Yeah, anytime, dude. Absolutely, anytime. Thanks for letting us help, and because we're fighting for freedom. It's easy to say that this isn't happening to us, but it's happening to all of us. Because if they can choke you and attack you and arrest you for simply pointing your camera at them, then we're next. Just like if they're able to get rid of TikTok and ban TikTok, well, then they can ban this group over here because they don't like how the data is stored, and they don't like this group over here because they don't want them to be able to have data. And that's what we're looking at with the TikTok ban right now. So,
oh yeah, they're slowly choking out all of our rights. I mean, they want control of everything and everybody and every dollar.
Yeah, that's exactly correct, my friend. That is exactly correct. So we stand united with you. We put the $3,000 down today. It's done. So now the next $3,000 won't be as hard. That first one was tough. And now the next one, he said we could pay 1,000. We could pay 1,500. We can pay 2,000, 1,000. But now you have a really good attorney who's going to show up for you on Wednesday. And by the way, I'll let him give his own qualifications. I'll play the entire audio. All right.
All right, I'm gonna jump on there. I didn't know you were on. I didn't get a notification or anything.
I'm shocked. Put a 1 in the chat if you did not get a notification. Put a 2 in the chat if you did get a notification. I'm absolutely Drophead 74 is in here. Drophead 74 put $1,000 in towards this attorney. So
Drophead, I definitely appreciate you. I know you're always shouting out to me, and I'm always shouting out to you. I definitely appreciate it. I appreciate everybody. I mean, even if you're just supporting, I mean, if you're donating or not, I mean, just your support alone is, I mean, that's valuable as well.
Wow. Yeah. Okay, Bobby, listen, we'll talk to you soon. All right. I'll see you in the live stream.
All right. Appreciate you.
Anytime. Later, brother.
Later.
So I know people are saying in the chat that they want help and they need a lawyer too. The way that we on Team DLZ help people is if you get arrested, it's on camera and your civil rights are violated. So here is the recorded phone call that I had with Scott Adams today. And that phone call would have been at 2:00. And I'll just play the whole thing.
I am doing all right, sir. I'm doing all right. Good. Freedom fighting the best that I can.
Well, that's sort of the nature of my business is to make sure that Big Brother doesn't steamroll the other guy,
Yeah, so your name's Scott Adams, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, and you're an Indianapolis attorney?
I am, yeah. I've been doing it for 20 years.
Okay. Oh, wow, okay. So listen, I had a different attorney lined out today, and they didn't take the case at the very last second. So then I had to call Robert and say, jump on the phone, get into Google and find someone who looks like they're a good attorney. And so he found you. So I don't know anything about you. And I hire attorneys all over the country.
So if you guys want to, I also have a GoFundMe. Let me pull that GoFundMe up real quick. Let me share the screen. If you guys feel more comfortable donating to a GoFundMe, then if you feel more comfortable putting money into the GoFundMe, it all goes the same place. However, I want to make sure that we're able to raise these funds. There that is right there. Okay, can you guys see that? Okay, cool. So this is the attorney phone call that I had today, and I'll put the link for this down in the chat. Right now, this is at $515 just from yesterday alone. And here's the link for the GoFundMe. If you want a PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, just put donation on it because I have to answer to the IRS. If you're worrying about answering to the IRS, there it is. There's a GoFundMe. You can clearly write off a GoFundMe as a donation. So there it is. I put the link there. My PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, and ZELLE is under there. Katie, put the ZELLE in there. It's so high 90069.
For different people. So it's
well, here's a little background on me at this point. So I started out as a prosecutor in Indianapolis, and I did that for about 3.5, 4 years. Did that from 2003 to 2007, and then switched sides of the fence. And I've been doing defense work since 2007. I've had my own law practice for a bunch of years. I'm now with a group of guys. Now that we're in a more multi-state, the firm I'm with is out of Beta, Cincinnati, but we have offices in Cincy and Lexington, Louisville, Indianapolis, and Dayton. So we're kind of all over tri-state area. So, but we focus only on criminal defense work.
What's the tri-state there in Indiana? Because I know where the tri-state is in Ironton.
It's in your spam folder, Joe. It's in your spam folder. It's been there since you ordered it.
Yeah, so it's the tri-state area. I'm sorry, like Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana. We kind of they're based out of Cincinnati, and so we kind of go all over, basically, from Cincinnati on out all the way to Cleveland to all over Indiana, all over Kentucky, and all over Ohio. So that little tri-state area is what I'm referring to.
Well, this might be a double whammy for you then, because I have a outstanding warrant in Ohio, and I've been looking for a criminal defense attorney to get that warrant quashed because it's been almost 2 years. I'm suing them in federal court. I'm sorry, Joe.
Well, we have attorneys in our Cincy office. I don't practice in Ohio, but we have 3 attorneys in our Ohio our Cincy office that handle those things, depending upon where it is. Where in Ohio is it?
It's in Ironton, Ohio, south.
Pretty much I'll have somebody reach out to you either today or tomorrow, and that's from our Ohio office, and they can chat with you about seeing what they can do to give you some assistance on that.
And then, so that'd be great. I would really appreciate it, Scott. And you're on the law for 17 years, and you're the prosecutor's office for a few years, so you're nice in position to defend.
3 or 4 years in the prosecutor's office, 17 years in a private practice. He works with a group of guys that go over Ohio, Indiana, and did he say West Virginia? I can't remember.
The case for Robert Mills. He's I'm not sure if he has. I mean, obviously you just got the case, but he has a bond revocation hearing, and he has 3 videos that show every single interaction. And it's like when they have a bond revocation hearing, in my mind, and you would have to educate me, but they are trying to revoke your bond and put you in jail. Isn't that correct?
That's exactly what they're saying. What they're saying is that he's been out on a bond, and he has violated the terms of those bonds in some fashion, whether it's getting arrested on a new charge, violating a term, like whatever the terms may be.
Order number.
In this case, I think the violation is him being arrested and charged with a new crime. So that's what it is. So we'd have to go in and just battle out and show.
What do you think on that? Is it a way? Can we beat that?
Yeah, I don't think it's that big a deal. If the court had that big of a stressor on it, they would issue a warrant. It doesn't mean you take it lightly. It doesn't mean you just ignore it. But at the same point, you don't going, oh my gosh, holy cow, what are we going to do? This isn't like you got a drug dealer who got popped for another drug dealing offense. These are misdemeanors, and yeah, at some point, the accumulation of the amount of cases does begin to be concerning for a court. But they're all the same kind of thing. The prosecutors asked for a bond revocation. The court just set it for a hearing to kind of figure out what we're doing. So,
the prosecutor has asked for a bond revocation. So the bond revocation hearing for Wanda Meese, also known as Robert, they're trying to Kentucky, Ohio, Indiana. Thank you. I appreciate that. So that's the tri-state area where Scott Adams does his business.
You got to take it serious, but it's not heart attack serious. It's more like, all right, somebody scraped a knee kind of serious. We got to address it and make sure it doesn't get infected, but probably Robert's not going to go to jail over this.
That's why I left Ironton, because, I am what I am, but I'm a juggernaut, and everywhere I go, I affect people. And they had arrested me for peacefully protesting. And then I went to the city auction where they were really illegally impounding people's cars and selling them. And I went there with my camera. And of course, there's 10,000 people watching on the live stream. And so I had poked holes in the eyes of the prosecutors, the judges, and the county commissioners own all the rehabilitation clinics in Ironton, Ohio. And then Judge Waldo ran on a ticket that he was going to sentence people to drug rehab. So Waldo would send his people over to the other judge's rehab, and then that judge would send his people over to Waldo's rehab, and they're just enriching themselves. So then I protested inside the city building, got arrested for peacefully protesting, and then they went to have a bond revocation hearing. I had interviewed 3 different families who all of their family members had been.
Chille, I need your order number. We're shipping right now, so I need your order number.
Let's walk out of here. So I got the hell out of there because it's a misdemeanor and do no harm is the first rule. So I was pleading, but can we talk a little bit about your payment fee? Because I just want to know how you wanted to set that. You think you were going to charge $6,000, and then it was going to be
yeah. Total 6. We take $3,000 up front. We do, credit card, debit card, or card by phone, or cash in person if you want to do it that way.
Or a wire transfer from my account to yours.
We could do a wire transfer. Yep, it usually takes a few days to kind of get through. That's the only kind of concerns. It usually takes a few days to kind of go through, and then obviously with the hearing coming up on Wednesday at this point,
there's no fee then for you. I pay the $35 fee on this side, but I can give you a card.
Oh yeah, I'm just talking about the money going in. Just the delay of payments is my only concern. So,
no, I don't want to delay your payment at all whatsoever, man. I'm trying to do it the most efficient and best way possible. And could we do 222 over 3 months? Just because I have raised already $2,000 in the past 2 days, so then it can come directly from the donations I've got over the past 2 days. But if you want 3, I can come up with 3 too. I'll just have to pull that out of my own account. Which if you look online,
okay. So hold on a second. So cool. So now I'm gonna give him my credit card number over the phone. I see you, Sinstar. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm gonna send this over right now to JB, and he'll get your order, your trifold. I think if you got a hoodie, then we sent you the trifold and cop card separately because we were in 2 different states at that time. So yeah. Yep. So then I'll let you guys listen to the rest of it.
No. They usually like the next half paid within 30 to 45 days. So if you do it 1-1-1, if you do it all in 3, you do it 2 and then 1, you do it 15 and 15.
Okay.
Whatever combination you like to pay it off in, whatever is easiest for you, but that's how I like to do it.
No problem. So if it's easier for you to take the card, do you want me to give you a card over the phone right now so you can just run it and then you have the money in your account?
Yeah, let me get a pen real quick and I will write that down and we can make hay from there.
And then I'm gonna, I typically do power of attorney for all the people and the super.
Okay, then we get into some stuff about my credit card and whatnot. So that's what's going on right now. So there is Venmo, PayPal, Cash App. No, that's the wrong Zelle. 90069. That's the wrong Zelle, KT. It's so high. 90069. That's the wrong Zelle. Yep. Now let's see if there's something going up here. Let me see if this is up yet. If it's up, I'll show it to you guys now about my trial. And I'll show you what happened today at my trial. If it's up, it might be up already. Let's see if it's up. We'll find out in a second. Here it is. Okay. So if you guys want to know what happened in my trial today, I had a arraignment today for being arrested for filming cops the other day. And so I will share this with you guys right now. This is from our Nevada. What the flock? That is so annoying. That's the second time that's happened too. I've done it twice. I'm going to sue him for malicious prosecution.
Okay.
I'm going to sue everybody involved. I'm going to sue the cops.
So,
I'm going to sue the county.
I appreciate you have an opinion. Today's just the arraignment.
I got you.
Oh, Jose DeCastro. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. All right, Mr. DeCastro, this is an obstructing or false implement charge. It is case 24-006842. Obviously, I'm going to ask you, do you understand your proceedings are being filmed?
Of course.
Okay.
They're here because I'm here.
Right, okay. And just so that the record's clear, you have no objection to that?
Of course not.
Okay.
I would like the transparency. I
Oh,
appreciate
no, that's
it.
fine. I need to ask that. City, there's no other issues for you with respect to this being filmed? Okay. All right, Mr. DeCastro, did you get a copy of the complaint?
I did. The only question I have is who's the prosecutor? What's the prosecutor's name?
Well, let me ask a couple questions and then we'll get into what your questions are. Did you review and understand this?
I don't understand it.
I don't understand how I can be charged with obstruction for filming a cop.
Okay.
It doesn't make any sense to me.
So I'm asking a much more basic question. You do not have to agree with this. This is
Do I understand
simply
I'm in charge with the misdemeanor?
Yes.
I do understand I'm in charge
Okay,
with the
that's
misdemeanor.
literally it.
I have trial tomorrow for the exact same thing 1 year ago.
In this jurisdiction?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I don't want to get into any of that.
Sure.
Today, we're just here for the purposes of this. It's a very procedural type of thing today for the arraignment. So you do understand what you got charged with. You do not have to agree with this. This is just an allegation. So you don't need me to read it to you.
I don't.
Okay, very good. And are you planning on hiring an attorney to represent yourself?
I will have a standby attorney for this case.
You will have a standby
Yes.
attorney. Okay.
Because I think that I'm going to win this easy. It's on film, and I wasn't obstructing
Okay.
anybody.
All right, Mr.
Is this
Castro.
the prosecutor, Matthew B.
Okay,
Walker?
let me do my part first, and then we can get into what it is. So, because I need to know, are you proceeding on your own? Do you want to have an attorney? Because I will give you time to talk to an attorney on your own if that's the route that you would like to go.
I will have a standby attorney for this case.
So typically, I would set.
So let me explain what the difference is. So if I have an attorney on standby, then I can make my own opening statement and possibly my own closing statement. And then the attorney on standby will do the questioning, cross-examination. If I'm going to take the stand, he can question me and object to any questions that the prosecutor asks in cross-examination. So the reason why I'm going to do a standby attorney on this case is because I want to speak for myself in my opening statement. I want to be able to speak for me because it's me that is being charged with crimes that I didn't commit. Just like Wanda Meese, I can't say it properly. Wanda Meese is being charged with crimes that he did not commit. So that's why the difference between having a standby attorney and not having a standby attorney.
First, and then we can get into what it is. So, because I need to know, are you proceeding on your own? Do you want to have an attorney? Because I will give you time to talk to an attorney on your own if that's the route that you would like to go.
I will have a standby attorney for this case.
So typically, I would set this for a pre-trial to give you an opportunity to obtain discovery and for your attorney to find out whatever all is associated with this.
Sure.
So I can set that over for a pre-trial date to give you the opportunity to do that. Would you like to do that?
And then they put here, discovery, that discovery is a former pre-trial process where the parties to a case use various legal instruments to probe each other in order to ascertain facts relevant to the case. So that's what it is. If you want to know what pre-trial is, it's right there in the blue here.
That'd be great.
Okay. And for your attorney to find out whatever all is associated with this.
Sure.
So I can set that over for a pre-trial date to give you the opportunity to do that. Would you like to do that?
That'd be great.
Okay. And then what is it that you need to tell me without talking about the facts?
I just need to know if this is the prosecutor's name. Is that the person prosecuting, Matthew B. Walker?
That is a good question. I will tell you that the city attorney is Jeffrey Dorokat, and that's the person's name on the upper left-hand corner of the complaint. Matthew Walker is
So that guy right there, and you're going to hear me say it here in a second, but that guy right there that's the enemy. He's an enemy. This guy watched a video of me get arrested when I was outside the crime tape, and he didn't dismiss the case. That guy right there, that tool right there, that douchebag right there. He watched me get arrested on camera outside the crime tape, not obstructing anybody. I even agreed to leave, even though I didn't have to. And as I was leaving, the cops got more and more animated, pushing me to the point where I couldn't keep up with how fast they were walking. And then I said, stop pushing me. And then they grabbed me and said, that's it, you're under arrest. I was actually exiting the scene when the cops were pushing me. So this is the piece of shit right here, Jeffrey Dorokat. Dorocock. That's who it is. Dorocock. That's the piece of shit right there. That guy right there saw the video and then decided to prosecute me. So that's the city of Las Vegas attorney. If you want to write emails or you want to contact that guy, he's a public official. You have every right to reach out to him. There's no reason in the world I should be prosecuted. I'll show you the arrest video here in a second, but I just wanted to show you that's the douchebag who's prosecuting me. That guy right there.
The city attorney is Jeffrey Durakat, and that's the person's name on the upper left-hand corner of the complaint. Matthew Walker is a deputy city attorney who actually prosecutes this case. Depends
Matthew
on
Walker.
the office.
I'm going to sue him for malicious prosecution.
I'm going to sue Matthew Walker, and I'm going to sue Jeffrey Duracock.
I'm going to sue everybody involved. I'm going to sue the cops.
So,
I'm going to
Mr.
sue the
DeCastro,
county.
I appreciate you have an opinion. Today's just the arraignment.
I got you. I got you.
Saying all these things, we're here.
So then of course our Nevada judges puts up here that an arraignment is usually a defense's first court appearance. The main purpose is to inform the defendant of the charges and for you to be able to plead.
For your misdemeanor. Okay.
I'm going to sue everybody involved. I'm going to sue the cops.
So,
I'm going to
Mr.
sue the
DeCastro,
county.
I appreciate you have an opinion. Today's just the arraignment.
I got you. I got you.
Saying all these things, we're here for your
good.
misdemeanor case.
Sure,
Okay.
but there's a bigger issue. There's transparency in the courtroom, which is the best thing that could possibly happen.
That's
Now the
fine.
people get to hear that I'm going to sue Jeffrey and I'm going to sue Matthew and I'm going to sue
So
every
here's
one of
what
those
we're not
cops.
going to do, Mr. DeCastro. This is not going to be a personal pulpit for your, philosophical difference or belief. You have the media here, and that's fine. This is
Great.
an open court.
It's great.
But I don't want you to start saying things too far extraneous for purposes of this misdemeanor charge. Because
Well-
that's what. No, do not interrupt me. Because that's what we're here for. Okay. Charge. Because
Well-
that's what. No, do not interrupt me. Purposes of this misdemeanor charge. Because
Well-
that's what. No, do not interrupt me.
Do not interrupt me. Do not interrupt me. Chille, just let me know your email. Shoot me an email, Chille, deletelaws@gmail. Shoot me an email from the email address that you ordered from, and I'll find your order for you. Put your first and last name in the email. I'll find it for you. I want to find your order for you. So I already sent your order to you. I guarantee you I already sent your order. It got eaten by the machine before there was hand cancel on the machines. So you guys can clearly see, that they have a very rigid set of policies, procedures, and protocols. And you have to live within the guidelines of their very rigid set of policies, procedures, and protocols. And when I tell her, hey, there's transparency in the court, you know it, Basil, like I'm a kid. It's just so bad.
Difference or belief. You have the media here, and that's fine. This
Great.
is an open court.
It's great.
But I don't want you to start saying things too far extraneous for purposes of this misdemeanor charge. Because
Well-
that's what. No, do not interrupt me. Because that's what we're here for.
I laughed.
Okay. So here's the thing. I'm recording everything, and you need to be aware that that's a two-sided thing. You're representing yourself, so I'm having this conversation with you. All these statements that you're saying can also potentially be used against you because you're getting recorded. So just so you understand. So here's what we're going to do. I'm assuming you're entering a not guilty plea.
Does the
correct?
misdemeanor carry jail time?
Possibly, yes.
Possible jail time. So you said a second ago that this is a misdemeanor case as though it's something minor, but I can be put in a dungeon and walked away.
Okay. In no way
So that's true.
did I imply that this was minor
Okay.
by
Yeah, it's a big
saying
deal.
it is a
It's a
misdemeanor.
big deal.
Okay.
Okay,
Mr.
thanks.
DeCastro, let's not get off on the wrong foot. I have my job to do, and I'm not trying to engage in a conversation that's adversarial with you today.
No, I'm not
I
trying to
would
either. I'm not trying. I like you a lot. I think you look like a real nice person.
Okay.
I got nothing against you
So we're
personally.
gonna enter a not guilty plea
Thank
on
you.
your behalf
Thank
today. I'm gonna reset this for a pretrial. I do need to understand, because you said you were gonna have standby counsel, so are you going to represent yourself primarily, or do you wanna have that conversation, come back with your attorney? Because there's certain procedural things I'll need to do to protect the due process and your due process, if you wanna go ahead and represent yourself.
Right. No, I'm going to have a standby attorney, and that has to do with a few different things. But I should probably consult with my attorney before I say anything, because it could be used against me later.
Absolutely, yeah, that's fine, and I would rather that you protect yourself, because we're recording, and that is where I'm coming from and the kind of conversations and comments that I'm making to you today. So you are obviously entitled to represent yourself, that is your right. But let's do this, let's get you a pretrial date, and that date, ordinary course for private attorney will be May 1st at 1:30. May 1st at 1:30?
I think I have,
Do you need a different date?
I may. I may need a different date because I have a different thing in Indiana. I'm just not sure. Can I just look in my phone real quick at my calendar here?
I'm talking about Craig Hendry's trial. I'm talking about being up in Indiana for Craig Hendry's criminal trial, which is where I'm going to be when his criminal trial happens. So I'm just trying to make sure that we mitigate the dates so that I don't end up double booking myself in Indianapolis, or I'm sorry, he's not, that's Wanda Meese's case is in Indianapolis, and then booking myself in Las Vegas as well. I don't want to miss my trial date.
And Your Honor, I have absolutely nothing against you. I'm not in any way adversarial to you at
Okay,
all.
I'm glad to hear that, Mr.
I just,
DeCastro,
you know,
because we may be
yeah,
on this case
yeah,
for
I
a
have
while.
nothing against
Okay.
you. I don't know you. You seem like a nice person to me. I couldn't possibly hold anything against you personally. So I'm just looking for the date that I have in Indiana. I sue lots of cops all around the country. I help sue lots of cops around the country if they violate people's rights. So I have a case in Indiana, but I'm just looking for the date. And that May 1st,
Yes, at 1:30.
can't talk, I'm in court. The judge is looking at me.
The judge is looking at me.
Is it easier if I give you a different date and then you look at that?
Well, I'm just not sure if it's May 1st or June 1st. I'm just gonna go there because I'm assisting with the financing of filing a federal civil rights lawsuit against these cops who arrested this man for filming cops. So I just want to make sure that I'm there when that happens. You know, I mean, it's a lot of work. So he's texting me back right now. I'll know the date in 1 second. I hate to waste any of these people's time.
You're not wasting anyone's time.
I just want to make sure that, because then we have to reset it again. If it's possible for my attorney to be here and me not to be here,
Absolutely.
well, then we can set it for any date. It's mostly convenient for the court.
That's fine. You
Cool.
will need to inform your attorney of that date, and then
Okay.
I'm sure they will know to appear for you. If nobody's there on that day, that would be a problem.
That would be a bad thing.
Right, so you would need to be here if in fact this is not your attorney that you're gonna hire. Because then I need to figure out, do you need more time or?
No, I already have
what you
an attorney retained.
Okay, so we will keep the May 1st, 1:30 date for your standby attorney to appear for you. And you do not need to appear on that date as long as your lawyer is here.
What time is that at, ma'am?
1:30 in the afternoon,
What's your order number, Anthony?
and you are in Department 1, May 1st.
Department 1 at 1:30. Set.
Okay,
Thanks.
all right, I will
Thanks.
see you
I
and your
appreciate your
attorney
time.
on that day, or just your attorney, Mr. DeCastro.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Okay, you too.
There it is right there. You guys just saw it. So this is the fundraiser I put together. All money goes to lawyers. It's at 5:40 now. So we will get that up right now. We will try to improve that fundraiser because then you can definitely do a tax write-off on a GoFundMe. I'm waiting for my 501c3 to get done. It's still not done. I have a copy of what I was charged with. I will drop it on the screen for you guys. I was charged with obstructing. Let me send you guys a copy of the piece of paper that they gave me today. I will airdrop this to my computer and we'll take a look at it. There it is. Let me show you guys this right here. And here is the BS from. Okay, there it is. Let me share this with you guys so you guys can see what I'm looking at. Here's the there that is right there. Let me see what you guys can see. Let me open that bad chicken big for you. Okay, so let me take that off right there. Thank you, KT. I appreciate that. Let me jump into this right here. So this says, said defendant on about February 14th and within the city of Las Vegas, state of Nevada, in the area of Charleston Boulevard in Decatur, has committed the following: obstructing a public officer, a misdemeanor, LVMC 10.02.010, NRS code 197.190. That the defendant did then and there willingly and unlawfully hinder, delay, or obstruct officers Frumkin, his name's Frumkin, and Sergeant Hutchinson of the Las Vegas Metro Police Department. Well, let me just tell you something. There were 4 cops there and a supervisor. You're all getting sued. Each and every one of you who arrested me, who put your hands on me, you're being sued. You may have listed 2 cops. I'm suing 5 cops at least. So you're not getting out of it. You're not getting out of your bullshit. So Pig Frumkin and Pig Hutchinson of the Las Vegas Metro Pig Shack, who were in the official discharge of their official powers or duties by approaching the officers and refusing to abide by their multiple commands to leave the crime scene area. There was no crime scene area. And by physically remaining in the area after being asked to leave. I think they missed the word. All of which is contrary to the form, force, and effect of the statute in such made cases provided and against the peace and the dignity of the city of Las Vegas. Well, let me tell you guys something. You don't have any peace. You don't have any dignity. Said complainant makes this declaration with the information on the subject under the penalty of perjury. And this is the Matthew Walker. You'll be being sued for malicious prosecution. And this one up here, Jeffrey Dorcock, you're going to get sued as well for malicious prosecution. Here's Jeffrey Dorcock's name up here. So Dorcock, you're going to get sued as well. Just so you know, I'm going to sue every single person in this case. Every single person who touches it, who has anything to do with it at all whatsoever, they will be getting sued by me. That's a fact. I'm suing them for $10 million. For the second time being arrested in 2 years, I'm suing them for $10 million because it's a repeated pattern of tyranny done by the Las Vegas Metro Police Department. So here's the GoFundMe. Let's get somebody in the room right now to put $20 in the GoFundMe, and then see if we can get somebody else to match that GoFundMe. This is a fun way to raise some money so that we have a lawyer for Wanda. I mean, I'm going to have my own lawyer, but hopefully what happens is, which I think will happen, we're going to win the case tomorrow, and then the federal civil rights lawsuit for $5 million is going to go through, and then we're going to have some dough. So right now it's at 540. Let's see if I can get one person to put in 20 and then get another person. So let me read off some of these names of people who had already donated. Get another person to match that $20. Let me put this right here. Here's the link for the GoFundMe. Let's try to get some funds in here so that, and let me read off some names and say thank you. Nabble, thank you, man. Thui, thank you. Jacqueline, thank you. Jacqueline just donated 3 hours ago before we were even live. Luke Desson, thank you. Jeffrey Millman, thank you. Martin Valdez, these are yesterday's. Thank you, Marcella. Thomas P, thank you, man. Charles P, thank you. Appreciate it. Roger L, Marvin D, thank you. Anonymous, $10. John Lagarito, $10. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And then Ed Kreider down there. So those are some of the donations right there. And I want to try to get $20 in there and then try to get someone to match that $20. Someone put $5 in there, then someone match that $5. No, Mr. Beast, God bless you. Thank you for throwing any money in at all whatsoever. And then let's take a look at the Cash App, Venmo, and PayPal. As you guys know, when I started the fundraiser for Press with Rancor, I'm even paying people now using Zelle instead of using my Cash App, Venmo, and PayPal, because I just want to keep all that money in Venmo, PayPal, and Cash App until we raise the $6,000 for Press with Rancor that is coming up on the 20th of next month. So we're at $1,000 right there in PayPal, and on Cash App, we are at, I'll tell you where we are on Cash App. We're at $758 on Cash App, and then on Venmo, we are at, on Venmo wallet, we're at $175. So we're almost $2,000 for Press with Rancor. And then we have Toots Vape Shop, Tutors Vape Shop in Texas, TOOTERS, Tutors Vape Shop in Texas. They sent $1,000 in. Drophead sent $1,000 in. So that's the $2,000, and I put $1,000 in for Wanda Meese today. So that had to happen today. I didn't have a chance to crowdfund it. The money had to be paid. So I just paid the other 1,000. And that's the way it has to go sometimes. You know, the whole idea is that what I do, I sell a lot of these trifolds and cop cards. Then I take some of the profit of those funds and I pay it forward to other people. And that's the way we do it. No, God bless you, man. No, I appreciate you too, Wanda. We got it, dude. So, wow. Oh, so Owen put in 200. Holy smokes. Let me refresh that bad chicken. Thanks, Owen. I appreciate it, man. Let me refresh this thing real fast. I don't see it in there, Owen, but thank you. I don't see it in there, but I'm sure it will show up. I'm sure it will show up. Yeah, never seen the username before, so that's how that is. 2,200. Okay, we'll see what happens. Okay, cool. So there's a couple videos I want to show you guys today that have to be showed. So you guys remember the 6 pigs in Mississippi who they're called the Goon Squad that murdered those guys? Well, today
law enforcement officers have pleaded guilty.
So in Mississippi, the pigs have pleaded guilty. Please stop calling them law enforcement officers. That just is not true. They are not law enforcement officers. They are pigs. They are jackboot thug pigs. And that's just the simple fact. It's not the way I want it to be. That's simply the way it is. Thank you, by night. Appreciate you too, man. So these are not law enforcement officers. These are dirty jackboot thug pigs. That's what they are. And these guys murdered some people, and apparently they've now pled guilty.
Mississippi, 6 former law enforcement officers have pleaded guilty to federal charges after investigators say the white officers tortured 2 black men for hours, then tried to cover up the crime.
Tonight, Eddie Parker and Michael Jenkins say justice can be served now that the 6 white Mississippi law enforcement officers who beat them for nearly 2 hours have entered guilty pleas.
I finally gave up. I knew how it was to give up. You know, it wasn't a surviving. It was a hoping I'll make it to the end.
Prosecutors in Mississippi say the officers tortured, used racial slurs, and sexually assaulted the 2 black men inside a Braxton home. Court documents reveal the officers, who called themselves the Goon Squad, broke down the door, beat, tased, and threatened to rape Parker and Jenkins while calling them the N-word and monkeys as they accused the men of sleeping with white women. The 5 Rankin County Sheriff's deputies, Brett McAplin, Jeffrey Middleton, Christian Dedman, Hunter Elward, and Daniel Opdyke, were joined by Richland police officer Joshua Hartfield. The federal complaint says one officer put a gun in Jenkins' mouth, pulled the trigger, and nearly killed him.
What did I do? Are these, really officers? Do they do this? Why are they doing it to me?
Authorities say the officers tried to cover up their crime by planting a gun in the home and drugs on the victims after their so-called raid. The officers charged with several crimes, including civil rights violations and obstruction of justice.
In their minds, the law and the Constitution be damned. They became the criminals they swore to protect us from.
After their guilty plea to federal charges, the members of the so-called Goon Squad still face state charges and years behind bars.
They should be in prison. What they did to these guys was...
In Mississippi, 6 former law enforcement officers have pleaded guilty.
What they did to these guys was so horrible, so absolutely nasty, disgusting. And I got a video today from Alan Hub, who's in the chat right now. And I have to show your video, Alan. Alan, where are you at, Alan? I just saw you comment in here a second ago. Where is Alan Hub? Can you throw a comment in, Alan? There he is. Alan Hub. So Alan Hub has watched these things happen, and he's been disgusted by them for so long, and we've all been so disgusted by them for so long that he sent me a video in today that he filmed when he was outside of the pig shack. And let me title this Alan Hubs real quick. Alan Hubs Gold. That's what this is called. I texted him back immediately as soon as he sent it to me. And I said, this is absolute gold, brother. And so I uploaded it here to the back end of YouTube Studio. Let me share this with you. This is so good. He goes hard. You know, you guys know the song, He Goes Hard in the Paint. He goes hard in the paint. Alan Hub goes hard in the paint. Alan, I think it would be safe to say that you don't respect cops. You think that would be a safe thing to say? I mean, put a 1 in the chat if you do not respect police. Let me put a 1 for me. I just don't. I'm sorry, I'm not sorry, but you jackboot thug pigs back each other up, do horrific things to people. I absolutely have no respect for cops. There's some cops who do the right things. However, they're complicit in the tyranny, the abuse, the cover-up, the rape, the murder, the sodomy. They tried to, in the Mississippi case, they were taking sex toys and doing things to those guys with sex toys through their pants. So you can figure it out. They got some pants and they're trying to put sex toys through the jeans. It didn't work. And so -1 says life under the microscope, a -1. So with that being said, let me share with you guys Alan Hub's video, because this dude is a straight G. He is. I got the video up. Okay. So this is Alan Hub's Gold right here. Who wants to smile? Who wants to smile?
So you're
do you want to smile real big? Who wants to smile real? Waltco, there he is. So they were trying to put things inside of them while they were naked. Waltco Act, if you guys are not familiar, go follow this man's channel. He covered the entire Mississippi Goon Squad. He interviewed the parents, interviewed friends and family, went to Mississippi. He doesn't live there, drove into town. Waltco Act covered the entire Mississippi debacle. So now let's get into the Alan Hub Gold just so we can have a moment of brevity.
So you're the problem. You don't think that what your organization does quite frequently is bad? You think it's okay for 4 men to hold a woman down while the 5th beats her? You don't remember the Bojangles incident? Bojangles incident? Oh, it is for you to judge. It's definitely for me to judge because I'm an American citizen. So why didn't that pig get arrested for excessive force? Right? Because the DA works with you, all right? Do you see when your one buddy hit that guy? Exercised my First Amendment right, and I got arrested for it. Yeah. Can you imagine that fucking piece of shit, Chapman, whatever, Henry Chapman lied on me on the stand? You should have seen it. It's like the guy's a freaking retard. It's him. Oh, he flipped out in the court. The judge had to calm him down. That's how dumb he is. 2 days later, he gets caught felony stealing, right? Well, you saw the news about it, right? You didn't get a bulletin about your fellow thief? Okay, then I guess I'm going to be the one telling you. Henry Chapman stole $900 for an arrestee, and they arrested him for a felony 2 days after he lied on the stand on me. So that's what happened. You can call me Big Dick Daddy from Cincinnati. For a felony 2 days after he lied on the stand on me. So that's what happened. You can call me Big Dick Daddy from Cincinnati. What's your name? I'm sorry? Helms, Helms. Okay. Yeah, so how long do you think it's going to take for Doherty to commit suicide? About another 18 months, 2 years? You didn't see him in court, did you? You wouldn't see how bad he is, did you? He's staring off into space. I already know you're lying to me. So I'm going to tell you how I know, because I can see him separate himself. I see him staring off into space and not blinking and just looking down the ground with a frown, especially with that mezzanine in there. He lied on me too. Said I was hanging out a window and yelling at him. Now, how can you hang out a car window, drive like this, and yell at him? That's impossible, right? Yeah. And it's going to be awesome when I hear about Doherty eating some lead.
Absolute gold by Alan Hub. Alan, that was so good, dude. Everybody, slow clap. Alan Hub. So if you guys don't know the story of Doherty, Doherty is the guy who tried to intimidate Alan Hub on the street. I don't think he was ultimately the arresting officer. And then shortly after that, he would arrest him. Alan Hub right now is involved in a criminal case, and we're going to help him sue as soon as his criminal case is over.
Don't force me. I just had surgery.
So now this guy is a cancer patient who will later win a federal civil rights lawsuit.
Walk over there. I just had surgery, sir.
California police violently arrested this cancer patient over expired car tags. Now,
Over expired car tags.
taxpayers are on the hook for their misconduct. One day after he underwent cancer surgery in 2022, Johnny Jackson was driving home when he noticed an unmarked police vehicle following him. Jackson pulled into his driveway, stepped out, and told officers he knew there was a possible issue with his vehicle registration. Body camera footage captures what happened next.
Stop. I will grab actually my paperwork for my surgery yesterday. Wait. I had surgery yesterday. Be careful.
Give me your papers.
Just let me move my papers. I just had surgery.
Jackson filed a lawsuit, arguing his arrest left him with severe injuries and lasting pain. Thankfully, Jackson will receive a hefty $300,000 settlement from the city. Unfortunately, it's paid for by taxpayers, making this a lose-lose situation.
Don't force me. I just had surgery.
I don't think so.
Walk over.
The problem is we started thinking like the colonists.
About. I'm on my way to work, pulled over. Let's see what this is about.
Hey, sir.
Yeah.
All right. The reason I'm pulling you over, man, I was right behind you. We were doing 80 and a 55.
Okay.
You have license, registration, insurance?
No, I don't.
You don't?
No.
Okay, so there's the step. First wrong thing he said. He said, okay, you don't say a single solitary word to the pig when he pulls you over. Listen to it again.
Hey, sir.
Yeah.
Hello, sir. Then he said, yeah. Too many words.
All right. The reason I'm pulling you over, man, I was right behind you. We were doing 80 and a 55.
Okay.
You do not say okay. You do not say okay. That is not what you do. You do not say okay. You have your license, registration, proof of insurance ready to go, and then you plead the Fifth Amendment. You plead the Fifth Amendment immediately. Absolutely immediately. Okay? That's what you do. Right away. You plead the Fifth Amendment. Cop pulls you over, you give him your license, registration, proof of insurance, and then you don't say yeah or okay. You got the trifold. It's on your visor. Put a 1 in the chat if you have a trifold in your car. Put a 1 in the chat if you have a trifold in your car right now. You have to have this trifold in your car, and you read it from top to bottom. Fifth Amendment, I invoke the right to remain silent. I don't answer questions. And all of this is caught on camera. That's how you do it. That's the way you do it. You don't do it any other way. Yeah and okay are not Fifth Amendment. I invoke the right to remain silent. 11111. You invoke your Fifth Amendment right, just like all the people in the chat are saying. They have a trifold in their car. The reason is your Fourth Amendment is dead. You have to plead the Fifth Amendment immediately and plead it on camera. That's what you have to do. I have court tomorrow for filming a woman who was pulled over to make sure she didn't get shot by the jackboot thug pig, and they arrested me. I did not see her trifold in her visor. Instead, she admitted that she had done it. I'm guilty, she said. That is not what we teach here. We teach you when you get pulled over, you give him your license, registration, and proof of insurance, and then you plead the Fifth Amendment. I saw you, Ryu. I got you, man. I just want people to understand. I don't want you to end up in a video like this guy, roll the window down just a crack, and then you plead the Fifth Amendment. You show the literature to the camera, then you show it to the copper, then you say, hey, look, you can't question me any further without my attorney present, without violating your oath you took to the Constitution to uphold my constitutional rights. That's how it works. You don't do it any other way. That's the only way you do it. Now let's watch this guy completely and utterly mess it up further.
You have license, registration,
insurance? No, I don't.
You don't?
He doesn't even say no, I don't with some calmness. He says no, I don't, as though he's the boss here and that he's not going to go to jail.
5.
Okay.
You have license, registration, insurance?
No, I don't.
You don't?
No.
Why not?
Because I don't need that to travel. I'm a Moorish American national traveling to Morocco. I don't have to have. There you go. Supposed to get that to y'all.
What's the deal, man? Can you roll this window down?
No, you can read that right there.
So I can talk to you?
I'm talking to you. Am I not? Can you not hear me clear enough? And you're also being video and audio recorded.
I understand. That's
All
fine.
right. If you read that, you will.
Okay, you don't have a license plate on your vehicle?
If you read,
you don't have driver's license?
if you read the paper, it will answer all of your questions.
What is this paper?
Explains to you policy enforcers that I have the inalienable right to travel without a driver's license, insurance, or state issued valid driver's license.
Listen, I'm not saying that I don't agree with him. I think that he's right. I don't think you should have to have a driver's license, registration. I don't think you should have to have those things. The law of the land, though, right now is that you can be arrested, drug out of that car, and taken to a dungeon. That's why I teach you to have your license, registration, and proof of insurance ready to go on a laminated card. And oh, by the way, when you get your trifold, I'm going to give you a pair of these Fifth Amendment cop cards with it, 100% for free, driver and non-driver. And they're just like a credit card, just like your driver's license. That's what you do. You do it just like this. You follow the step-by-step procedure down the blue cards that show you this is the driver card, that's the non-driver card, that's the driver card, that's the non-driver card. With every single trifold that I sell, I put a pair of Fifth Amendment cop cards in it. Go to deletelaws.com right now and get a trifold. Because in your trifold, I'm also going to include this fancy broccoli wad rubber band. It's so fancy. And what it does is it makes sure that your trifold, your proof of insurance, registration, and a copy of your driver's license goes up in your visor. When I give it to you like this, I know that you're going to have it up in your visor. You need to have a trifold in your car. It is the most important thing for when you drive, when you drive, however you want to say it.
If you read the first 2 lines on that paper, it's on there, and it's.
Well, that's fine. I just, like I said, I don't have. You're not telling me any information. You're not telling me who you are.
I don't have.
I tell you why I pulled you over.
You're absolutely right.
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 Okay.
You pulled me over for what reason again?
Because I'm on the highway right next to you, and you're doing 80 and a 55, all the way up here.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's against the law.
It's not against the law.
To speed?
As a matter of fact, do you have a supervisor I can speak to? Because I'm going to exercise my inalienable right to remain silent. Because you won't. I've given you the paperwork. You won't even look at it to read it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll get one started.
All right.
Okay? Go ahead and get your driver's license.
Duwad, I see your comments, but we've talked already, and I referred you to a guy, and let's talk about this when we get off.
Let's see how this works. Oh, here we go with this shit. Let's see how these clown bitches try to act today.
You got to appreciate his attitude. I feel the same way about these pigs. I mean, I've gone over this. The 1915 case of Hendricks versus Maryland says that you have to have a copy of a driver's license, registration, and proof of insurance. Now, if you want, you're welcome to take the chance to go to jail. You're welcome to take the chance. So let me just address Duwad. Duwad, specifically, I try to help people who have their case on camera and their civil rights are violated and they're using their First Amendment. I don't know an appeals attorney for your Second Amendment. Did you contact Alan Beck in San Diego? I could try to contact Alan Beck for you and see if he'll help you.
So I'll have to.
You know, I'll answer the question down here. Little monkey down here said, Popo pulled over white skin. What happens if it's brown skin? The exact same process. This gentleman here has decided not to have a license and not to have registration. I don't teach that. I teach to live within the boundaries of the rule of law and then let them violate your constitutional rights on camera. And then we go after them with lawyers and we sue them and we take them on. That's what I advocate for here on this channel. So whether you're black, blue, green, red, yellow, purple, doesn't matter what color you are, you've got to have the Fifth Amendment cop cards in your wallet. You got to have a trifold on your visor, and then you operate your camera like you're a ninja warrior. It doesn't matter what color skin you are. It matters that you have the literature on you and that you film absolutely everything that's happening to you. That's what matters the most, because then at least then you may be able to get justice later. Maybe. I'm not saying it's 100%. I'm saying maybe. But if you're white and poor or black or brown, don't reach around. You have the trifold rubber banded up in there. You got your license, registration, proof of insurance. That's what I teach here on this channel, day in and day out, day in and day out. You have to have the trifold in your car. And then in case you're not driving, I give you a set of these cop cards with it. Before we put hand cancel on the envelope, so many people didn't get their cards. I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry. I tried. And I'll continue to put the cards in the envelopes. And now we have hand cancel on all the envelopes. So now the envelopes will go through with your cop cards in the envelope. So I'm really sorry it didn't go through. I tried. I did my best here. It's so stressful for indigenous Americans to get pulled over by European colonial police. Okay. Look, policing is inherently racist. It was created with the 1704 South Carolina slave catchers. But put a 1 in the chat if you're not black, and when you get pulled over, it is stressful for you to be pulled over by jackboot thug pigs. Put a 1 in the chat if you're not black, and it's hard for you too when you get pulled over by jackboot thug pigs. I understand that black people are targeted. Believe me, I sat with a group of young black men last night. I gave all of them a trifold. I gave all of them cop cards. I gave rubber bands to all of them. I understand. But to believe for a moment that it's stressful for indigenous Americans, it's stressful for white Americans, blue Americans, purple Americans, brown Americans, yellow Americans, pink Americans. It's stressful for all of us to be pulled over by these jackboot thug pigs. The way you can mitigate that is by knowing your rights, having them written down on a piece of paper, and then using your phone and using your trifold like a ninja warrior, just like that. That's what I'm teaching you here today. That's the whole point. That's the whole point of why I sit here every day for an hour a day and say, hey, get a trifold in your car. If you can't afford one, I'll mail you one for free, or I'll email you the PDF. And you can print out a bunch of them if you want to. And as you guys can see, if you can afford it, please buy it. There's thousands of dollars going out to attorneys. You heard it. My attorney's $5,000 that I'm paying. Wanda's is $3,000. Press with Rankers is $60,000. All those dollars have got to be somehow created. So if you can afford to get the trifold, please afford to get it. If you can't, contact me. I'll email it to you or I'll mail it to you. Just depends on where we are, to be honest with you. Okay. So I'm doing the best I can. Let's keep going.
I'm being late to fucking work.
He said that he's on his way to work, not already working for hire or compensated.
The camera dirty? Must be.
He stated he's on his way to work, not already working for hire, compensation, or profit, in which he may need a DMV license, plates, and registration. But that's not what Hendricks versus Maryland says. It's just, that's not what it says. That's not what it says at all. So what it specifically says right here in Justia, let me use the site that I already know so well. Right here in Hendricks versus Maryland, right here, here's what the actual law says. Let me see what you guys can see. You guys can see that. Okay, in Hendricks versus Maryland here, it's decided, argued November 11th, 1914, decided in January 5th, 1915. It's a Supreme Court case law where they create policy that rules our world. It totally sucks. I get it. I totally get it. It is absolutely horrible. I do understand. I'm not agreeing with it. But then down here, as we get into the actual holding of the case, Mr. Justice McReynolds says this. Upon the highways, without having procured the certificate of registration required by U.S. Code 133 and fined. You out? Okay, thanks, buddy. The governor shall appoint a commissioner of motor vehicles with power to designate assistants who shall secure enforcement of the statute 133. Before any motor vehicle is operated upon the highway, the owner shall make a statement to the commissioner and procure a certificate of registration. Thereafter, it shall bear a numbered plate. This certificate and plate shall be evidence of authority for operating the machine during the current year. Registration fees are fixed according to horsepower. So explain to me where that says that you only have to pay a fee if you are in the business of driving a car. It doesn't say that. The policy created by the 1915 case of Hendricks versus Maryland says that it's based on the horsepower of your car. That's what it says. I don't have to agree with it. I'm just telling you what it says. I don't agree you should have to pay a registration fee or a driver's license fee. I'm with you. According to Hendricks versus Maryland, it says registration fees are fixed according to horsepower. $6 when 20 or less, $12 when 20 to 40, and $18 in excess of 40. And then it says here, no person, not just a person who's operating in commerce. Now, you guys see legends like Paul Enslaved and Tulane X. Those two guys are legends. They're able to pull it off and get away with it. Put a 1 in the chat if you don't think you'd get away with it. Let me put a 1 for me. I think I'd go to jail. Put a 1 in the chat if you don't think you'd get away with it. I'm not saying that it's not constitutional. I think it's unconstitutional for the black robe tyrants to decide for everybody that we have to pay a DMV fee. A lot of people here don't think they'd get away with it. I don't think I'd get away with it. I think I'd go to jail. I think they'd impound my car, put me in torture cuffs, and take me to the dungeon. Then charge a bounty for my body and a bounty for my car. That's what I think. A lot of people here don't think they could get away with it. But it doesn't say you only have to pay the registration fee when you're operating in commerce. That's not what it says at all. And that's what the video just now said. It says, no person shall drive a motor vehicle upon the highway until he's obtained the cost of a $2 operator's license, subject to revocation for cause. Any owner or operator of an automobile who has complied with the laws in the state of which he resides, requiring the registration of a motor vehicle or license of operators thereof, may under specific conditions attain a distinguished tag and permission to operate such machinery on the highway for exceeding 2 periods of 7 consecutive days in a calendar year. This I'm just telling you exactly what it says here.
For a supervisor, of course, because I asked for a supervisor.
And this says, read all of Article 46 articles of the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples, 2007, signed by Barack Obama in 2010. I guarantee you it doesn't say that they're going to do away with U.S. Code 133.
Gas, yo. And I'm sitting on the side of the road waiting for a supervisor. All right.
Sir Navila, you were asking for a sergeant?
Yes, I was. I don't see the reason why I was stopped.
The officer said that you were going 80. This is a 65-mile-an-hour zone on the highway. Were you aware
Okay,
of that?
that's a posted suggested speed limit.
That's a speed limit, not a suggested speed limit. It's a speed limit.
Okay.
Is that what the sign says? Speed limit?
That's what it states on the sign.
Limit, right.
Right.
So that's a state speed limit. Correct?
You are absolutely 100% correct.
Right.
A corporate state speed limit. You're right.
And that's the reason why he had stopped you.
Okay.
Also, you didn't have a license plate on your vehicle.
Right.
So
it's not required.
It's not registered in the state of Colorado.
It's not required.
Whenever you I'll let the car go by so I can.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
So whenever you're traveling on the state of Colorado roadway, it needs to be registered in the state of Colorado.
That's not true, sir.
Yes, sir, it is. That's the reason why we have license plates.
If you're a corporate entity that adheres to the corporate laws, then yes, you are 100% correct. You're 100% correct.
Are you a licensed driver in the state of Colorado, sir?
I'm not licensed in any state to drive.
Okay. So in the state of Colorado,
I'm exercising my inalienable right to travel.
You're required to have a driver's license to travel on the state of Colorado roadway.
That is not true, sir. But I'm not going. I mean, it's not an argument for the side of the road.
Either. I'm just trying to get this rectified.
As am I, because I'm on my way to work and I'm late.
My officer's just pulling you over because you're traveling 80 miles an hour and opposed to 65-mile-an-hour speed limit. That's the reason why my officer's pulling you over.
Okay.
My officer.
And that's what he was trying to explain to you. Is that
no, I understood that. I understood that was the reason for him, or his reason for stopping me. I understood that.
Right. So right now, all he's doing is conducting a traffic stop. So he's trying to find out who you are and explain the traffic infraction to you as to why he was stopping you. And that's the only thing he was doing.
Okay, if you can ask him, I didn't argue with him or anything. All right.
We're perfectly fine, sir.
Okay.
And I'm not arguing with you either. I'm just explaining. That's all, because you requested a sergeant to come here. So I'm just advising you of what it is that he advised me.
Okay.
And that's all.
All right.
So did you supply him with your name and date of birth?
No, I didn't supply him with anything. It's not required. Here, I'll give you this out as well.
Okay.
I mean, this is Supreme Court law. So what you're saying is law that you're going by. I'm going by the Constitution, which you guys took an oath to, which is law in this country. It's law.
Right.
It states I don't have to identify myself. I don't have to have quote unquote state issued license plates, registration, or driver's license. I'm not driving. Driving is conducting commerce. I am traveling. Look up the definition. I'm just stating facts.
Now he's right. So let me explain how Paul Unslaved and Tulane X get away with this. Thanks, Jeremy. I use oyez.org, oyez.org. Moderators can put that in the chat. And then I also use justia.org, justia.org. I also use Wikipedia all the time. And then a friend of mine has a membership to LexisNexis, and I have used a little bit of LexisNexis, but to be honest, not much. Not a lot, unless I really get into some case law. Now, he's saying that the Constitution says you have a right to travel. He's right. The Constitution is altered by the black robe tyrants who said you have to have a license, registration, and proof of insurance. That's what the black robe tyrants said. That's what they said. I didn't make those rules. I showed you guys the case law. Well, the freedom effect then. Okay. So look, freedom effect. Here's the thing. Wikipedia has a ton of good information, a ton. It is a great starting point. It is a great resource. Anybody who says things like it's just, I just want you to know how much I've learned by using Wikipedia. I've learned a lot. The case breakdown, the synopsises, the culture of the history of our country is written up in Wikipedia. Is it wrong sometimes? Sure it is. Is oyez.org, oyez.org, is that wrong sometimes? Sure it is. Is Justia wrong sometimes? Sure it is. But the amount of information you can get from Wikipedia is really, really extensive. It's really extensive. It really is. It super duper is. I'm telling you. The very first thing that that Robert Kennedy Jr. will do when he's elected president is he will pardon Julian Assange and Edward Snowden. So I didn't hear of anybody else, any other candidates saying that. So I mean, I'm down. Nobody's blocked, Jimbo. Nobody's blocked.
All right. You're certainly traveling, but the thing is, you're traveling on a state roadway.
Sir,
if you were traveling like on a rural roadway, things like that, that's certainly different.
Sir, I've run into state troopers, I run into federal agents, and the same applies. It's Supreme Court law, which is the highest law. It was the supreme law of the land.
Right.
That is fact. That's why I have
The Supreme Court made the decision in the 1915 case of Hendricks versus Maryland.
Property in the back of my window, registration. I mean, it's I've been through this several times.
Okay. So what you're saying is that you don't want to supply the officer with your name or date of birth or anything like that.
I'm not required to by law.
So what you're saying is that you don't want to.
I'm not required to by law, sir.
I'm asking you whether you want to.
My name is.
Who thinks he's going to go to jail? Put a 1 in the chat if you think he's going to go to jail. Do you think this guy's going to go to jail? I don't know if he's going to go to jail or not. I haven't seen this whole thing yet. Put a 1 in the chat if you think he's going to go to jail. Do you think he's going to go to jail? How many people think he's going to go to jail? It sounds to me like, I mean, the supervisor copper sounds a little reasonable. Sounds like he's not a horrible pig, just a regular pig. But it sounds to me like he's going to go to jail. We also have seen other people who we thought were going to go to jail and they didn't go to jail. So, none of your business. Yes, he can go to jail. Yes, he can. Any infraction of the law. Okay. So I'm just telling you guys the way I see it, the way I read it, and hope this guy doesn't go to a dungeon.
Miss Tariq.
Tariq, thank you, sir. May I ask?
And I'm late to work.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. I'll be all right.
Just curious as to what your travel is. Where are you going from here?
I'm going to Longmont. I'm traveling to Longmont.
You're going to Longmont.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir. Here's your paperwork back. Okay. I'm going to ask you for a favor. Okay. You were traveling in the municipality of Thornton, city of Thornton, state of Colorado. Okay. When you're traveling through our city, can you please adhere to the speed limit, not suggested speed limit?
He's going to let him go.
So that way the officer does not have to contact you. Is that an agreement we can have?
There's an agreement we can have.
Very good, sir. Then you can be on your way.
All right.
If you're good with, this is the officer that stopped you, just so that you know who stopped you.
Okay.
Okay. And again, like I said, it was for the posted speed limit violation, and that you didn't have a driver's license plate on your vehicle.
Okay. And like I said, the officer will tell you I wasn't rude or anything. That's specific. Okay. I just wanted to make sure. All right. Yeah.
I'm totally fine with you right now, sir.
Okay. Outstanding.
There's no reason to be rude or anything like that. I'm not
Absolutely.
rude to you, am I?
No, sir.
Okay. Yeah,
absolutely not.
All right, sir. Tariq, so thank you again. Please adhere to the speed limit, not suggested speed limit. Okay, so that way you don't get pulled over. I mean, that's the easiest way to not have to be contacted.
I agree. I'm just trying to get to work.
All right, sir.
All right.
Take care.
All right. Okay. Does this road go over to the gas station, or do I got a
Yes, it
U-turn?
does. If you go up there, turn left, and we'll come back out to the lights right over there.
Okay. Thank you much.
Take care.
Absolutely amazing that he got away. Absolutely amazing. That is absolutely incredible that he got away. I am just so and then Jeremy said, by the way, I have been shadow unsubscribed to the channel 3 times and unjoined once in the last year or two, folks should check their status often. I wonder how many subs you'd have if YouTube didn't do stuff like that. I don't know. I mean, I'm currently under a really big shadow ban. They're just limiting the outreach of the channel. And I think more and more that I teach people, and more that we come together and we hire attorneys for people. And you guys did that, by the way. You know, you guys did that. I mean, I put in some money for sure on this last one for Wanda Meese. I put in $1,000 myself. But then there's another fund going for Press with Rancor that is at $2,000. So, you know, you, Jeremy, throwing in the super chat, you know, that's part of the $1,000 that I put in toward Wanda Meese's attorney today. It just had to get done immediately. I asked him to do $2,000 because that's the money I had donations for. He said no. So it had to get done right away. We didn't have a chance. We didn't have a chance. There was no time. So you guys remember Jesse Rodriguez. I told you guys about Jesse Rodriguez. There's the dash cam right there. Remember, I showed you guys a picture on Amazon yesterday. I said we ordered this dash cam. It cost about $240. There it is right there. Can you send me the tracking number? And there is the actual dash cam that he got. There it is. He showed me the actual dash cam, and this was $250, $240 that you guys helped me finance. So there is the dash cam that we ordered. We got it right there. So that helps so much. What time is it now? I am just completely, I've been going strong since 6. I had to I had to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning to call attorneys for Wanda Meese. I'm absolutely shell-shocked right now, tired, and I have trial tomorrow morning. Trial tomorrow, let me show you where the trial is tomorrow. I have a bunch of videos I want to show you right now, but I'm kind of like falling asleep behind the scenes here. So I want to show you guys where the trial is tomorrow. And I'll drop the donation tabs one more time. I literally have hundreds of emails. So if I don't get back to you right away, give me till after my trial and a day. Let me get through my trial and one day. I have hundreds of emails right now that I just can't keep up with. There's just the person I was going to hire last Friday fell through. So now I'm going to have to hire somebody else. There's the donations for PayPal, Venmo, and Cash App, $5, $10, $15, $20. Got to try to keep money coming in at all times because there's so many thousands of dollars going out for people, including my own attorney, which was $5,000. Wanda Meese's is $6,000. And then Press with Rancor is $60,000. So we always got to put donation on the subject line. And now let me show you guys where it's at 200 Lewis Avenue in Las Vegas. This is where court is tomorrow. Court starts at 9:30, but we won't actually get going till probably 10:30 or 11. This is where it is on a map right there, 200 Lewis Avenue. 200 Lewis Avenue. And, you know, besides the, I have a street view thing there. 200 Lewis Avenue in downtown Las Vegas. Let me put it like this. There it is right there. Whoops. Let me go maps. There it is, the 200 Lewis Avenue, downtown Las Vegas. But you know, the best way that you can support me is by supporting yourself. Get a trifold, get it in your car. This is how. If you already have one, get one for a friend and give it to them. And I'm going to include the broccoli wad rubber band, and I will include the Fifth Amendment cop car driver and non-driver in your envelope. That's the best way. Thank you so much, Chille. And Chille, oh, thank you, David. I appreciate it. I haven't checked it yet, but I'll check it. I am completely and utterly cooked. I have got to stop. I'm going to get myself sick. Thank you, David. I appreciate it, man. I have, oh, you want to match it? All right, let's get a couple matches. We'll get a couple matches in here. So now the GoFundMe is at $705. Wow. Thank you so much. We'll get a couple of matches because we have to raise funds for people and their attorneys. We can't touch this fund until it's at $10,000, which I think is a good thing. because then we have real money for people. April's in there. Sartorios is in there. Anonymous is in there. Thank you so much. And then there's David Hainfield. There's Roger Lane, Nabble Thu, Jacqueline Sklade, Luke Desson, Jeffrey Millman, Thomas, keeping going all the way down, Brandy Swaney, Anonymous, John Lagarito. So these are the ones. If you guys want to match April, that she put in $20. If you want to match Sartorius, he put in 100. David Henfield put in 20. Roger Lane put in 20. If you want to match any of these people, there's Jeremy. Jeremy, only about half of that goes into a fund because YouTube takes about half of that money, about 40% of it, just so you know. Not that I don't appreciate it. I super do appreciate it. But this is where we are right now. Thank you, Jeremy. I appreciate you, man. Really, I super appreciate it. It means a ton to me. Let me drop the link for this GoFundMe down in the chat. And every single dime, I will show you. Tomorrow I'll have the receipt for Wanda Mises' attorney. As you guys can hear, I'm stammering and stuttering because I'm just fighting to stay awake. But I'm going to stay awake. If anybody wants to match any funds in there, that would be, thank you, Jeremy. I appreciate you, man. It means a ton. So it's called Activist Fund. It's Lawyers Fund only on GoFundMe. Yeah, I'm super tired. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it much longer. I'm really tired. I'm trying. If you guys can make it to Las Vegas tomorrow, just let me know. I would love to meet you guys. I'm cooked. I got to stop. I wish I could keep going. I would love someone to match funds in here, but I've got to go to sleep. I am good. Jeremy, huge contributions today. $120 in contributions from Jeremy. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. All you guys who donated and contribute, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. As you guys can see, I'm not joking about what we're doing. I really am. I'm doing exactly what I said I would do. In no way, shape, or form do I make any profit from any of this. I make profit if you buy my trifolds, my cop cards, if you buy my poster, if you buy my ebook. That's how I make money. I don't make any money from any donations from any person. All that money has to be funneled to the attorneys. I can't take a dime of it. I have to contribute in so that we can reach the goals that we have to get to pay these attorneys to help people and even help me, because I'm also facing 2 different criminal cases right now in Las Vegas, and I have another criminal case in Ohio that I have to hire an attorney to try to get that warrant quashed. I don't like having that warrant, but they were going to put me in the dungeon and they would have killed me in there. That's my sincere feeling. That is my sincere feeling, that if I had gone to the bond revocation hearing in Ohio, that I wouldn't be here today. That I'd be dead. So that's why I didn't go back. All right, listen, OTVO, overturn Terry versus Ohio. Put it in the chat. I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for coming. Later, Gators.